What's up everybody and welcome back. I'm Eric for President and you know the drill, your one-stop shop for 5 VR stories you missed over the past couple of days. We've obviously got a lot to talk about today. We've got The Walking Dead, Oculus Link alternative 5-meter cables, SideQuest concerns. We've got really interesting tech like SKYNET is coming, it's insane, and even more. But as always, first, a few things in VR making me happy. VR is growing in the hearts and minds of everyone, including these huge influencers, and I love seeing things like this. This recreation of the Office TV show intro, all done in Pavlov. Honestly, give this thing a watch. And finally, this recent GDC developer survey showing large interest in developing for VR, even more than Xbox. Cool stuff. As always, links for all these will be in the description along with all timestamps for these stories. We have less than 1 week for the Oculus Quest headset giveaway, so check that link down in the pinned comment. Please subscribe, it would mean a lot to me on this channel. Make sure to leave a like, and with that being said, let's jump today right into the VR news. Let's start off with a heavily requested review of an alternate to the official Oculus Link cable, coming in at less than half the price, the 5-meter Partylink cable. Let's get into why it's a great alternative but comes with a giant catch. Released officially on Amazon on January 22nd, the Partylink 5-meter cable costs $37.99, less than half the price of the official Oculus Link cable. It is USB-C 3.1 and backwards compatible with USB-C 3.0. In my test of it, I recorded with OBS that you see here, and I picked Asgard's Wrath, played on Wrath difficulty, playing one of the Valkyrie arenas. I chose this specifically since it's what I tested the official Oculus Link cable with, and these arenas do ramp up in difficulty pretty quick, making it a pretty good performance test. Now I had no stuttering, very fluid play, and honestly I could not tell any difference between the actual use for me between the alternate cable here and the official Oculus Link cable. However, there are a few catches to this cable that will be important to your buying decision. It is USB-C to USB-C, and unlike the 3-meter cable version, it does not come with the USB-C to A adapter, and even if you have one, the performance with an adapter was 50-50, so I wouldn't advise any adapter use. You will need a PC with a USB-C to USB-C connection with this. Also, I recommend that you highly plug this one directly to your GPU and or motherboard, because anyone using PCIe slots, performance is a little bit of a mixed bag. I had problems with it myself. You will need to plug this directly into your GPU or motherboard. Also, it is not as flexible as the official Oculus Link cable, although that is not a tremendous concern to me. However, this cable being half the price of the official Link cable at the same length, if you have a dedicated USB-C slot on your PC directly to your GPU or motherboard, this is a fantastic option. Otherwise, it may not be the best for you. If this was helpful, let me know down in the comments and we'll do more tech reviews in the future. Moving on, of course, another heavily requested review is of course The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners. And while I'm sure you've seen a million reviews already, I'm a few days late. I noticed one thing missing with a lot of reviews. They say, is it a good game or not? And sometimes that's irrelevant. It's about what its value added to you based on the available library of VR games. So let's get into my mini review of Walking Dead, but why it's more important than just being a good game. I won't blabber on too long here. The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners is a great game, and I do recommend you to buy it or try it within a return window. The graphics are much better than the average VR game on almost all fronts, although there are many reused assets in low texture areas across the maps. But overall, never once was my immersion broken by just the graphics. The gore is legit though. I love the amount of gore, it is so satisfying. Music is adequate, sounds are for the most part fantastic where weapons hit with a thud or squish, but some guns do lack that oomph. Now gameplay, while repetitive at times, is king in this game, and through every bit of the survival bars, the vision getting clarity when tired, sparse supplies, a sense of constant tension, and there's just so much more. Yeah, this game is an absolute must play. So that's a super quick review of The Walking Dead, and I passed over tons of things that you may want to know, but if you want to know if it's a good game or not, it's a good game. It's a great game. It's a good, great game. There's no reason not to play it off that. But sometimes there's a lot of good games. There's a lot of good VR games, a lot of great VR games, but it doesn't mean we always want to play them because they're not value added compared to all the good games out there. We don't have all the time in the world to play every single game. But why is this one so much value added where I recommend that if you have a bunch of fun games, a bunch of good games that you want to play this first? Well, that's because it made me play differently than all other games. I play tons of games, tons of VR games because I want to try them all to let you guys know my thoughts on them. With that being said, I get into a rut sometimes where I can blast through these games. I play very aggressively. Anyone who plays Pavlov with me knows. I play fast, I play hard, I play very aggressively. And I try to do that with this game just like every other game I play, and I got killed. It murked me, it kicks my ass. This game will force you because of the mechanics that are unique to this game, the survival mechanics, to play probably differently than you have. And if you have a lineup of good games, well, they all may play fairly similar and they're all still good, but this is a good game that's gonna make you play differently. It's gonna force you to reevaluate your choices. And that's why it's a super value added game to your VR library. That's my thought on what's been missing from a lot of reviews out there on how value added this game is to any VR library out there. And if you love zombie games, you love post-apocalyptic games, you're gonna have a good time. That's about it. Let me know if this review helped you out, if you've played Walking Dead, what you think of the game so far, and if you haven't, if you'll be trying it based on this review. Let me know down in the comments. Now, whether it's to your liking or not, where we are going and what the new normal is going to be is ever changing. In real life, VR drones or VR surrogates are becoming a real thing, and a new technology is coming that looks really cool. It is only a prototype, but let's talk about it. The vision of teleexistence is to create the world where every single person on the planet will benefit from the robotic revolution. So basically, SKYNET, just come and take me now. Joking aside, they are working on a portable robot humanoid where by putting on a VR headset and special gloves, the robot basically becomes a drone or a surrogate for you, and you can go anywhere that it can go. The luggage case you saw in this trailer of the concept would be basically an all-in-one package, including a built-in HMD, haptic gloves, and an optimized screen and interface. Now, these robots would be spread out among the world and would mostly be used for commercial purposes at first, and this is just a concept, but basically mixed reality would be the possible norm here, with endless world-opening possibilities. And like I said, this is just a prototype, but it is likely going to eventually be the new normal. In fact, it's really the new normal a lot quicker than I expected in my life, but there are endless applications for these. Yes, you can use them for sightseeing, for shopping, things they said in the trailer, or the concept trailer that they have, but really the possibilities of this are really up to what the tech provides. We could have kids learning at school in these, they could be there for workforce training, they should be there for education, for the medical field. Basically, these drones could revolutionize the way that we have access to the world. And yeah, Skynet's real, guys. Skynet is just gonna take us all out. But either way, this is a really cool piece of tech. I'm excited to see where it goes. It's probably nothing that as a consumer I'll be using anytime soon. However, I'd like to see maybe a prototype or something way down the line in my life I can try. But VR surrogates, VR drones and VR surrogates, how do you feel about these? Do you think it's gonna change things too drastically? Can we adapt where these are the norm and life enhancing? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Before ending this episode on a thought piece out of love for SideQuest, loving concern for SideQuest, Rift S owners, Oculus Rift S owners, I actually have news for y'all, and it's good. Let's get into it. So ever since Oculus software update 12.0, there has been a litany of issues emerging that honestly were not just the vocal majority, it was a lot of people on both Reddit and Oculus forums. You had stuttering and really jittery frames, as well as games that just completely were unplayable. I'd say adding fuel to the fire between the Rift S's dying videos and complaints and constant updates coming to the Oculus Quest, it really was kind of sad to see these issues so pervasive and Oculus fairly silent everywhere minus one post on Reddit. Now, Oculus is fairly quiet on boasting here, but they actually did solve the problem and now you are good to go. Simply head to the Oculus PC software, go to the settings tab, then go to the beta tab and make sure to enable the public test channel. Once done, wait for any downloads to complete and you should be good to go, with a few caveats that you need to be aware of. The caveat here is mostly towards owners of both a Rift S and an Oculus Quest, or maybe you'll be using them on a similar PC. The public test channel current update is not compatible with the Oculus Link, so if you plan to use the Oculus Link, it will not work once you enable the public test channel. However, when switching out, you just have to change that tab. So every time that you'd like to use the Quest, make sure to disable the public test channel, and every time you want to use the Oculus Rift S for right now, enable the public test channel. Each time you do this, it will make a new download happen, so you'll have to wait for that to finish. But this way now, you can use your Rift S without problems. I'm glad to see they fixed this. Rift S owners, I love y'all. Y'all are some of the most patient people I know in VR because there's a lot of hate out there for Rift S, and it's a great headset, underrated headset, and I love it. Let me know what you think about this tech tip down in the comments. And finally, SideQuest. Okay, it's not going anywhere. Don't get outraged, don't get scared. This is just for discussion because I think it is a legit point that needs to be brought up and discussed, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. SideQuest recently had a teaser announcement for something big, which ended up being To the Top, one of the first major publicly loved titles to get publicity around its rejection from the Oculus Quest store right around when the Oculus Quest launched. I had posted something similar the day before, and seems Nathan had thoughts about this as well. In his Twitter story, he voices his concern for SideQuest over the increased visibility and monetary potential behind the SideQuest platform, something that was designed primarily to be used by developers, where now it's mostly used by normal consumers. Nathan has concerns of Facebook and Oculus stepping in some form or another. So I preface this story for a reason. Don't get outraged, don't get scared. SideQuest isn't going anywhere, and you're not going to get banned anytime for using it, and you won't be. However, SideQuest did also just have a recent interview with Upload VR where they said they had great relations with Facebook. And the way I'd say this is Facebook caused their own problem. Oculus and Facebook caused this problem of the SideQuest store. So it's their own doing. However, you got to wonder if at any time are they going to undo their mistake, or what the ecosystem they forced to happen by being so strict on the Oculus Quest store. And the second they see SideQuest starting being monetized heavily, is there going to be an issue? Now I know itch.io and other ways, there are other ways to sideload paywalled content. However, SideQuest has the most visibility among all those, so they'll be the first one targeted if they ever want to crack down on something like this. SideQuest sells hardware. They make people want to get more hardware. And then there's more software in SideQuest. It's a very, it's a relationship that works both ways. I'm getting a little tongue-tied here. But I say this, don't get worried. This is for discussion. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this. Do you think there's any realm where Oculus and Facebook have to crack down on the use of SideQuest in some form or another as more paywall material comes on it, or if they monetize again? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. After a mess of that last story, that is the end of today's episode. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Make sure to leave a like to support this video. Subscribe and hit that bell icon to never miss an upload. Join the spaceship on Patreon. Everything in there just gets reinvested back to y'all. And with that being said, I'll see you on the next one, VR Space Cowboys.